The noisy streets of Lagos echoed with the chatter of school children, the honking of cars, and the constant hum of generators. Among this cacophony, Ada and Zainab's laughter rang loud and free. Neighbors often called them inseparable twins, two girls who did everything together, from walking to school to plotting their shared dreams under the glow of kerosene lamps. Ada, fiery and bold, was always the leader of their mischief. One day, she declared one sunny afternoon as they sat by the compound's water tap, "I'll be the best journalist in Nigeria, telling stories no one else dares to tell." Zainab, thoughtful and meticulous, laughed softly. "And I'll design the jewelry you'll wear when they interview you on TV." "Deal!" Ada exclaimed, offering her pinky finger for a pact. Zainab hooked hers around it, sealing their promise. But their world shifted one evening when Zainab's father gathered the family in their small parlor. The room was dimly lit, the air thick with tension. "We're relocating to Abuja," he announced, his deep voice leaving no room for debate. "What?" Zainab's heart sank. "But why, Baba? My school, my friends." "It's not up for discussion," he cut her off. "The transfer is final. It's a better opportunity." When Zainab broke the news to Ada the next day, they both refused to cry, but their voices trembled with the weight of unspoken fears. "Abuja?" Ada repeated, her fists clenched. "You're leaving me?" "It's not my choice, Ada," Zainab said softly, her eyes downcast. "I'll write to you every week." "You'd better," Ada said, forcing a smile as she slipped a beaded bracelet onto Zainab's wrist. "And don't you dare forget me." As Zainab boarded the bus to Abuja days later, Ada stood at the station, waving fiercely, tears streaming down her face. Zainab pressed her hand to the window, mouthing, "I promise." The letters came faithfully at first, long and detailed. Zainab wrote about her new school, the friends she made, and how much she missed Ada. Ada replied with stories of their old neighborhood, how their favorite mango tree was cut down, and the gossip about their school teachers. But life got busy. The letters turned into sporadic phone calls, then occasional texts, and eventually, silence. Ada buried herself in her studies, graduating with honors in journalism. Zainab excelled in architecture, but soon pivoted to jewelry design, a passion she had never outgrown. The years rolled on, their friendship fading into a bittersweet memory. Years later, Ada found herself on a plane to Abuja, her heart pounding with anticipation. She had become a journalist, just as she'd dreamed, and her latest assignment was to cover a cultural exhibition celebrating Nigeria's heritage. The city felt foreign yet familiar, stirring memories of Zainab. As she wandered through the exhibition, admiring the colorful displays of traditional crafts, her eyes were drawn to a booth showcasing intricate beaded jewelry. A slender figure, her head wrapped in a vibrant Ankara scarf, was busy arranging pieces. Ada froze, her breath catching. "Zainab?" The woman turned slowly, her eyes widening. "Ada?" For a moment they stared at each other in disbelief before Zainab broke into a laugh, rushing forward. "Is it really you?" "It's me," Ada choked out, tears welling in her eyes. "I can't believe this." "Look at you," Zainab exclaimed, holding Ada at arm's length. "You've grown into the Ada I always knew you'd become." "And you've made your dreams come true," Ada said, gesturing to the jewelry. "Your designs are stunning." They found a quiet corner and talked for hours. Ada shared her adventures as a journalist, narrowly escaping danger in a conflict zone, uncovering corruption, and chasing stories across Nigeria. Zainab spoke of her struggles starting her business, the sleepless nights perfecting her craft, and how she'd always hoped to run into Ada someday. "Remember that bracelet you gave me?" Zainab said, holding out her wrist. There it was, slightly faded but intact. "It's brought me luck all these years." Ada smiled, her heart swelling. "And I never stopped wearing the necklace you sent me from Abuja. You see, we've always been connected." But their reunion wasn't without drama. Just as they were laughing, a man approached Zainab with a stern expression. "Zainab, we need to talk," Now. Who's that? Ada asked, frowning. Zainab sighed, her shoulders slumping. It's complicated. You're married? Ada's voice rose. Nobody thinks I should be, Zainab muttered. He's an investor in my business, but he's been pressuring me to, settle down. Ada's fiery nature flared. What nonsense! You're too brilliant to let anyone control you. Tell him. I will, Zainab said firmly, interrupting. I've handled worse. Zainab walked away to confront the man, and Ada watched with pride. When she returned, her smile was victorious. That's the Zainab I know, Ada said, clapping her hands. As the night wore on, they promised to never let life pull them apart again. Ada suggested collaborating. Zainab's jewelry and her journalism could tell stories about Nigeria's rich culture. I'll write the stories, and you'll bring them to life with your designs, Ada said, her eyes sparkling. Deal, Zainab said, offering her pinky. They linked fingers just as they had years ago, sealing their future in that moment. Fate had brought them back together, and this time they wouldn't let go.